everybody. You are very welcome to another edition of Business Block with Miriam. Now, on a Monday, we feature Women's Inspire Network members. This is a group, a network that was put together by Samantha Kelly, who is the tweeting goddess. And every Monday, we have a really special lady on the show from that network. And today, from the Hamptons in New York, I'm absolutely delighted to welcome Vanessa Gordon. And Vanessa is the founder of East End Taste magazine. So Vanessa, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm delighted to have you on because this is such an interesting venture that you started. So first of all, just tell us a little bit about yourself. And, I believe you're a local.
Yes. So I'm a longtime local of the East End of Long Island, as they like to call it, or the region of the Hamptons. So I'm about 2 hours away from New York City. So my name is Vanessa Gordon. I'm the CEO and publisher of East End Taste magazine. We're a digital, sustainable travel and food publication based out here. We are also based part-time in the UK. So I'll be actually heading there in just less than a week or so. So I look forward to bringing everyone more coverage there. And we focus a lot on the eastern coast of the US. We do a lot of Ireland-based coverage, but mainly we're New York metro area, or as they say here, the tri-state area, which includes, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, and such.
Wonderful. So just can you give us a little bit of an idea of how this works? I mean, you mentioned that you actually have a connection with Ireland and also Britain. You've got a base in Britain. How does that work?
Sure, certainly. So originally, my ties to Great Britain started when I studied abroad there 10 years ago. And I instantly fell in love with London. I truly felt like I was coming home, per se. So what happened is I had gone on a self-guided press trip in November, December of 2019, which included Ireland and England. And I went through all parts of the UK while I was there: York, Oxford, where I studied abroad. I went down to Leeds, Canterbury, all over the place. And I became very acquainted with many of the chefs, restaurants, the hoteliers, and really the hospitality industry, which is a lot of what we cover. And we connected originally virtually or through the Visit Britain Tourism Board. And I said, I love it here so much. I love the response we are getting with the coverage. Why don't I hire some writers that are based in London and out and in the UK throughout? So that's exactly what I did. One of my graphic designers is based there. One of my videographers is based there. And I have 3 writers based over there. And then so it grew very, very organically. And people always get so excited. It's so interesting. People here in Sag Harbor and East Hampton, where I live, people love when I go over there because I have some close friends that are in the food industry that have roots there. And then vice versa. I have people that I know over there in London who have roots here in the Hamptons. So it's a really nice bridge that we've created. And it's very, very unique. I'm the only publication in the Hamptons that does that.
My goodness. And from what I read, we'll just have a look at your website in a moment just to show viewers how it looks. It looks absolutely stunning. You want to keep scrolling through. It's just wonderful how you've put it together. And it's not complicated. It's very, very visual, but it's not overly complicated. So you want to stay there. It's a place you want to rest. It's really beautiful.
Yes.
I just wondered whether or not because you go for sophistication and elegance. It's something that you state from the outset on your publicity and blurb. But do you look at, for example, really good pub cuisine as well, or is it strictly restaurants? Or is it simply quality food, really high quality food from good chefs?
That's it. It's really at the helm of our coverage are the chefs. That's the heart and soul of our coverage. And what's really cool is we actually did do a pub roundup in Ireland. So we had different writers that are based really all over the world, and we actually invited them to do a collaborative post, if you will, to share their favorites. So we do a lot of that. So we welcome other writers from different areas, and they come together. We create one roundup based upon their own experiences. So it's very authentic.
And the fact that you actually came over in 2019, did that coincide with the launch of the website, or were you going from before that?
It coincided with the rebrand. So we rebranded the website, or I should say redesigned the logo, and we started off fresh for early 2020. But I've been at the helm of East End Taste as the brand and the digital presence for, my goodness, over 6 years.
So did East End Taste Lifestyle come before the magazine, or were they part and parcel?
They came together. It was at the exact
together.
same time. In fact, interestingly enough, our social media didn't generate buzz until after the publication was already set in place, which is quite different from how I would say it's usually done.
And would you have ever envisaged yourself running an online publication?
No.
Like a magazine?
No way. No, I thought I was going to be bouncing back and forth between freelance gigs, but I knew right when I started doing that out of college, it was extremely overwhelming at first. And I said, why am I getting, I'm writing for all these different online or print publications. The pay is not so good and it's very stressful. And I'm going, this logically doesn't make any sense. Why don't I just start my own gig, see how it goes, and represent myself? And that was it. And it took off very strongly, very fast, perhaps because in a way I was also still freelance writing at the time. So I had those connections within the industry already. So when I said, oh, I'm going off on my own, they already saw the product that I had delivered for other publications. They said, oh, let's see what she does here. And they were excited.
That's amazing, because so was writing always where you wanted to be, somewhere in the writing genre?
Yes. That's right.
Actually, because you look so fashionable. Yeah, you look like a fashionista. When people look at your photos, you're so photogenic, and it actually works really well, doesn't it? I'm just going to share my screen for a moment and let people have a look at the website there. Just tell me if you can see this, Vanessa.
Sure.
Yeah, you've got it there. There's Vanessa enjoying herself.
There I am.
This is wonderful. And as you can see, folks, it's a really, really well done out website. So it's really easy to follow. So you've got New York events, media kit, write for us. You look for writers.
We do. So we accept writers on a rolling basis if they have a good idea. Oh, my cat just came over to me and said hello. But we also accept, if brands or businesses want to sponsor, we have that opportunity as well to sponsor articles.
And when you look at careers, you've got donate, you've got press as well, of course. You have an open door, basically. You're looking for good quality writing as well. And is that open to around the world?
Around the world. And what's really cool is somebody just reached out to me from Bologna in Italy. And I had somebody reach out to me from France, and they wanted to write more simultaneously, of course, and write more coverage based in Italy and coverage based in France. And that's taking off. And I'm welcoming, especially because Fiji is opening up now for tourism once again, and Australia, fingers crossed, should be opening up. The talk is soon, the foreseeable future. Definitely looking for more writers based there as well.
I am just having a look at your gorgeous afternoon tea offerings. These are the British. The tab I clicked there was the United Kingdom. So here you've got wonderful articles coming through, good quality articles as well that aren't too long. This is, really key, isn't it? How long did it take you to actually work out the format, or did you have a lot of help for creating a magazine that is lifestyle as well?
It's been an ongoing work in progress for many, many years. I'm still learning in many ways. So for instance, our next step is generating more newsletters, generating an ebook. There are so many components, and they just keep building and building from there.
The ebook would be concentrated on what exactly? Food?
It would be the Hamptons, like a
Hamptons.
Inside.
It would be the Hamptons.
It would be the travel guide that nobody would ever, that you're not going to find anywhere else. These are the inside secrets that only very few people know. So it's like where to park for like endless amounts of time, without a fee, and
excellent idea.
Little things like that. Like, in a way, some of the tips that I want to give away, they're so, oh my gosh. I mean, I want to put them out? That's how good they are. Like, little things like that.
Yes.
But I want
the advertising, as we have a look at your site there, you'll see that advertising Now, I would have thought if I were starting an online publication such as a magazine, one of the first questions I would have in my head is how much advertising, what percentage content and what percentage advertising would I have to consider? Would I have to plan for?
Sure, a healthy income for it would be, I would say right now we're generating 25% sponsored content and 75% editorial. I would like to bring this sponsored content down to 15%. Why is that? I wanted to be able to generate more content, but we have to be able to bring in advertorial in order to keep up the site. And a lot of that has to do with lost time from 2020.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, you had, thankfully, in the couple of years before you got all of these writers on board, you had your team sometimes in different countries. Did that save you once it came to the pandemic?
Yes. So we had already planted the seed abroad already. And what was so nice is we were able to still create travel-based content, even with what was going on in the world. People wanted to still read about travel, and it was just a matter of sharing that knowledge and insight. So when people were ready to travel again, it was already there and ready for them.
I've just clicked into your collections, your masks and collections.
Yes.
I believe this is actually yours. This is your baby.
Yep. This is a shop that I created. We're hoping to expand it in 2022 with more tote bags and t-shirts and fun stuff like that. So it is also, in addition to being an online publication, it is a lifestyle brand as well. So we have some fun things planned there.
You definitely do. Now, of course, you would promote local.
Yeah.
Do you ever, what kinds of incentives do you run for the locals? And do you partner with a lot of charities in the area? I think,
yes.
Did I see something about your hospital and various foundations?
That's right. Certainly. So we do a lot of partnerships with our local hospital. That would be the Stony Brook Southampton Hospital out here. We've partnered with animal shelters, including the Southampton Animal Shelter, Bidewee. We've also worked with Kids Need More, which is another nonprofit based on Long Island. But we're always open. We donate to a women's shelter, for me personally, all throughout the year, and then we help them with their holiday party that they do towards Christmas Eve. So it's always so nice to give back.
Goodness.
Yeah.
So is that the next big focus now? Your Christmas offering.
Yeah.
And of course, when we're talking about your magazine, of course, it's a live magazine, isn't it? So you're not talking about issues. You're talking about having to keep the content live and fresh all the time.
Yes.
How do you manage an archive in that kind of situation? Because you must have a huge archive of work at this stage, but you can't have it accessible to everyone.
It's so cool.
That's right. So one of the cool things that I do is I'm always recycling content. So a lot of people don't think to do that. So a very good example is we did our holiday. We're working on holiday gift guides right now. Why should an article from last year sit there and then we just publish the exact same thing every year? When then what happens with SEO is you start competing with yourself. Who wants to do that? So I literally I republish that same article, but put new content in.
I totally agree with you. And people forget to do it. It's a very obvious thing to do, but people forget to do it. I sometimes have to say that to people I've interviewed as well. Don't forget, it doesn't just help me, but don't forget, you can repost that, every 6 months.
That's it.
Go through all of your articles, your interviews, and run them again.
That's it. Certainly. I love, actually, what I love is whenever I'm featured on a podcast that being retweeted again or shared again, I love resharing content. So I do the same thing. And another thing too is a great example is we had a Halloween event roundup coverage for New England. We're going to be republishing that same article next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful thing to do.
I'm doing the papers.
And you can. There's somebody joining us.
Yeah, my daughter's making a donut.
Oh, very good.
With sprinkles. Do you want to show your donut, sweetie?
Why not?
Yeah.
What's your daughter's name?
What's your name, sweetie?
Sarah.
That's Sarah.
Sarah,
Here,
I
honey.
love your
Here,
dress,
honey.
Sarah.
Can I show it like that? Yeah, there we go.
Oh, that's a beautiful donut. You must keep the pussycat away from that.
Yes, we have a cat that we adopted. Her name is Linda, and she's so wild that she lets herself out of the house.
That is
So
funny.
I just look at her and I see her clawing at the screen. I go, oh, just go out. just go out.
Oh my gosh.
She's gonna
I'm
get out
inclined to go
anyway.
for human names as well. I've got a Barbara, an Amber, and a Helga.
Cute. Yeah, we have an Abby
So
and a
Linda
Linda.
is no surprise at all.
Yeah. People go, wait, your cat's name is Linda. Yeah.
Absolutely lovely. So
Yeah, there
if
she
I
is.
were to ask you for some advice, 3 pieces of advice for someone who is thinking of going into a digital publication.
Sure.
They want to start a magazine, for example, because that's where you are right now. What would you suggest?
Sure. So 3 things. I would say first and foremost, don't let anybody talk you out of it. It is one of the most fun, most rewarding experiences. And what's so cool is that you're in control. You're in the driver's seat. So you can choose how much time or how little time you spend on it. I choose to spend quite a bit of time because I love it so much. And so that's really fun. Another thing too is don't focus too much on the numbers right away. You really want to focus on building quality first, and that's what people are going to look at. Then the numbers will follow. So for a very good example is, people tote about, you need this many number of followers in order to do X, Y, and Z. I will tell you this from a standpoint of looking at, because I also put on events in the summer out here. I'm looking for quality. I'm really looking for quality. So, numbers, sure. But if you see like big numbers and not such good content, that's going to raise a red
I can make
red
it
flag, of
how
course.
I want.
The
okay?
last bit of advice that I have for
It's my
now
choice, since I made it.
is to reach out. So if you want to, say for instance, you want to start a regional publication, or if you are based in, Galway, for instance, and you want to start a regional publication, reach out to the local businesses. Just introduce yourself. Don't expect anything, but just say hello, introduce yourself, and perhaps say something along the lines of, how can we help one another? And keep yourself open, keep the conversation open, and make yourself available in the beginning.
So a very, very soft pitch. Don't come
Yes.
in with a hard pitch.
Don't be like, oh, can I come in? And, because people get a little scared, like, wait, what do you want? What's going on here? So just introduce, say hello. Perhaps not to sound so salesy, don't necessarily bring a business card right away. Just come in, say hello. And then once you have a strong product out there, then you can share accordingly when it's ready.
That's absolutely fantastic advice. Absolutely fantastic advice. And the most enjoyable, what would you say has been the most enjoyable part of the journey so far?
Oh, just meeting people from all over the world. And what's so fun about that is I'm taking my grandma to Italy with me on Monday. And because of all my travels and meeting so many people, I was literally all I had to do was pick up the phone and call somebody and say, I'm taking my grandma to Italy with me. Can you help me make this really special? And because I have this strong network of people from all over, they're like, what can we do? How can we help you? So that's what's so cool.
Isn't that fantastic?
So I can really make some fun things happen there. And I'm really, really excited. My grandma has no idea. It's been all been planned on back end. Yeah. Another random piece of advice I'd love to give. Don't give your daughter like access to like unlimited sprinkles. I have a lock on that pantry, even though I swear I do, but I'm literally looking at her donut right now. And it looks like
tonight.
It looks like I want to say like, you need more donut for your sprinkles. I'll take care of it when she loses interest.
Have you noticed as a writer, and I'm sure you've written in different, across different genres, but have you found that the type of people you come into contact with writing for a magazine, an online publication, is different? Are they friendlier? Is it an easier environment, mindset? Is there a shared mindset that distinguishes itself from others?
Yes, we are all in the same position. A very good example is I just came back from Florida on a press trip, and I met people in both the print and digital realm. And yeah, it was so funny. We were sitting at the pool at the resort we were at, and we were just chatting about how we're doing, what are our challenges right now, what are our strengths right now. Across the board, same challenges, same strengths. And we just looked at each other, we go, okay, we're in the same boat, we're in it together. So we could all of us concluded, if we can help one another, we will. And that's what's so great about it, because you'll get to meet people from all over the world, and my instance, from all over the country of the United States. And it's terrific. And we also know a lot of the same people too.
Oh, of course. I'm sure you do. And it's a great way to just keep up to speed with them as well, isn't it? I mean, working in this kind of scenario. What would you like to see change in the industry?
I wish that in general, it was not such an enigma. It was more concrete, what we do, because to explain the job to some people who may not be familiar, I wish that it was more more streamlined. So a very good example is, you have some people that I know that think that, oh, I'm on, just walking around with my phone, just creating content all day, because I'm also at the helm of our social channels. Then there's some that, feel that, I'm sitting in front of a computer all day, or I'm sitting at the beach all day. There's a lot that people don't see on the back end. And it's an incredible amount of work. And if you love it, great. If it's not, but it is very rewarding. It is very rewarding.
I can make it how I want. Remember?
Now, there are some people who suggest showing what goes on behind the scenes. That's rather difficult if it's a high-end lifestyle magazine, isn't it?
It would almost be like showing how a movie is made. I mean, in my opinion, you want to see, hundreds of hours of editing and people sitting, moving, splicing images and doing the trick photography.
It doesn't really
kind of
work,
almost ruins the fun.
There's an exclusivity to what you
and that's
are
it too.
offering.
Oh, my cat just caught something. Yeah, that's it. So it's like, who wants to see the daunting work of me sitting, adding alt tags to the images and speaking with my tech team, and this image is not coming through properly, X, Y, and Z.
Look at little things. Aren't you beautiful? What a gorgeous girl. Was that a nice donut? It looks like you enjoyed it.
You like your donut? Yeah.
Yeah.
With chocolate and red sprinkles.
Oh, look at those sprinkles. Well, listen, I have a cat in the room too. I better not let her see those.
My cat just ran across my deck. Oh, there she is. She's so funny. She's sweet.
And like they say, they
don't do that.
You'll find lots of people who are promoting online, and they're saying, oh, you'll have so much more time for your family, etc. Have you found that actually works out?
No, I what I do is I have included my children in everything per se, not more behind the scenes. And I'm teaching my daughter now how to edit video, and she loves it. She's having a lot of fun. And what's kind of cool is, because I don't eat certain foods that I used to, say if I have to go out for a tasting, or if I have to go to an event, I'll bring home like goodie bags of items, and it's them that get to eat everything. So they reap the benefits.
Absolutely, they do. They do. Look, Vanessa, it's been absolutely wonderful. I could talk to you all day.
Yeah,
very, very, very easily. This is a wonderful magazine. Everybody,
Thank
have
you.
a look at it. East End Taste Magazine, and it's absolutely fantastic. So if you're interested in fashion, if you're interested in food, this is the publication to go to. So thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate you coming on, Vanessa, a member of the Women's Inspire Network, everybody, like myself, member of Samantha Kelly's Women's Inspire Network. She is the fleeting goddess. Have a look. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Vanessa. And welcome to Ireland.
Yes. Thank you.